All right. So right now we're gonna record the retrospective for this sprint one, starting with what went well. In my opinion, we can start that all the things that we wanted to do, we have completed. All the tasks that we had in mind that we wanted to finish were finished. So that's a good thing. That went well. And all the things that we planned on, like whenever the meetings were planned, they were all taken care of. Everyone I think was, except for maybe once or twice, everyone was on time
Yeah.
and all the, so what else? Anyone else got any more plans?
I would say that we learned Agile, although it was not a really easy process. We have to produce and learning this method of developing software, but we got it really we got a gist of it. I think we planted all the stories and followed the stories and completed them. So I think yeah, that's
Yeah, this the way of this architecture of the way to work that we learned. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
okay. Anything else?
I thought that everyone individually did some solid work in terms of like either writing code or taking leadership of certain tasks or organization, communication, all those things.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else that you want to add to what went well?
We can add like we decided like in start of the sprint one that we need a solid MVP, so we can provide that in sprint one. So I guess like we are ready with that. So that went well for sprint one.
Yeah, the design of the MVP that we had in mind
Hmm.
is as good as we planned. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we can move on to what can be improved, I guess.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, I
So
have
what?
a question for sorry for what went well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Um, Actually, never mind. Never mind. I guess it goes with completed all tasks.
Okay.
Okay. So what can be improved? I think one thing that I had in mind of what can be improved was we kind of underestimated the tasks. Sorry, overestimated the tasks. I mean, because it wasn't much of an effort. Like we could have done easily within time. I think so.
Hmm.
Mm.
We could have done more if we wanted to.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Okay.
What else?
Yeah, that makes sense because our 24 we determined that our velocity was 24 and we completed 100% of the sprint. I don't
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we still had a little bit time in the end.
Yeah.
Definitely we could do a little bit more in the next sprint.
Well, yeah, and I feel like that goes hand in hand with like a few things. Like one is that I feel like we um overstated how much effort would be associated with like certain tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't the professor talked about capacity planning. I don't think we had an understanding of like how much we could take on yet. Yeah, like
Yeah.
our like velocity, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Uh, and another thing I think is that uh well, on that note, we just had like incomplete data, I feel like. Like the professor talked about how like it's really tough to like be a new team versus
Hmm.
Hmm.
been working together for years.
Hmm.
So we just didn't have previous sprints to analyze, I guess.
Hmm.
Like how much of a workload could each person take, and how much like they could create in a specific given time. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
And yeah, one more thing is I think we need to start recording the videos like 48 hours before. We talked about this in the previous retrospective, but I think we are neglecting that one point
yeah.
Uh-huh.
to improve like at least the 48 before thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think we neglected a little bit like there will be time, but yeah, it's like less time if we
I
consider.
mean, yeah, we had like because we completed our tasks a bit earlier, we
Yeah.
got a little carried away with this. I
Hmm.
think
Yeah, yeah.
that's what happened.
Hmm.
I feel like we still in general could be like tighter on the deadlines thing.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because especially because we did pretty much complete our stuff. I
Hmm.
feel like we haven't like learned our lesson yet. Like it hasn't like bitten us yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So what can be the actionable items for the next sprint?
I think in terms of actionable items, first we plan our velocity. So during sprint two planning, we can add a little bit more. And then we also can make it a, a rule, a hard rule that we will be able to record the videos 48 hours before the deadline. And uh, yeah, and then as I think the other thing about our capacity and velocity as we work continually as a team, that we will have more accurate, take on the data of how much we can take.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Can I
uh,
say, one more thing about, I guess, like both what can be improved and actionable items?
yeah.
I think we had a little bit of a tough time like hitting the ground running in
Hmm.
general, as a team. Uh, and I was thinking like especially in terms of like seamless collaboration with each other,
Hmm.
like understanding tasks and like just having like the right like appropriate workload to
Hmm.
like maximize everybody and get everybody like working together and on the same page, you know?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and also like collaboration, I feel like on that point was like it was good, but it was like rough at times, I feel like.
Yeah, we could have done better. Yeah.
Yes. And what would you propose in terms of, or do you have an idea on how we can improve workload distribution collaboration?
I have an idea, but I think it's worth a conversation.
Mm.
Because I think like, you know, in speaking with the group at first, I think there's been like a resistance to structure and organization a little bit. And I can understand that because I'm like kind of the same way. Like I feel like personality types are different and like team personality types are different.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
But I wonder if there is some additional like structure that we could impose on ourselves that would be like acceptable for everybody. Um,
Yeah.
be
Okay.
like stifling, but would like, help get everybody on the same page like a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Structure and mechanism. where we can keep each other accountable. Okay. Let's all think about that, and then I will process all of this and then summarize um the actionable items in the next sprint, and then we can talk about it again.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
again, like it's always whatever the team wants, like, and
Yes.
the democracy and everything. Like whatever the team.
Yep. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Thank you.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
We'll wrap this up. Stop recording.